Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you and a very warm welcome to Day 3 of INAE Annual Convention 2025. Today's program marks an important culmination of the convention, featuring the induction of new INA Fellows and INA Young Associates into INA fraternity, statutory proceedings of the Academy, and an inspiring fireside conversation with one of the India's most respected industry leaders. We shall begin the day with the induction ceremony. May I request Mr. J.D. Patil, President INA, Professor Shivaji Chakravarti, Vice President INA, and Officiating Executive Director, Lieutenant Colonel Shobit Rai, to please come on the stage. To start the proceedings of induction ceremony, may I request Officiating Executive Director INA to kindly come on the dais.
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed dignitaries on the dais. Off the dais, former Presidents INA, Dr. P.S. Goyal, Professor Indranil Manna, Dr. Sanak Mishra, esteemed fellows of INA, Young Associates, delegates, and dear guests. It's my pleasure to be here welcoming you today. At the onset, I will request you, we have a very action-packed day today. There are 4 particular events, one after the other, starting with the induction of the Young Associates to the INA fold. So before we go ahead, allow me to commence the proceedings with the permission of the President. The induction ceremony for the newly elected Young Associates. You saw them getting awarded yesterday. INA Associates may kindly note that their names shall be announced sequentially as per their respective engineering sections, and request you to kindly come onto the stage at the spot marked right here, where your citation will be read, and then move on to the dais, wherein the conferment shall happen, followed by your signatures on the register. So with that, allow me to start the proceedings, and may I request Professor Ranjan Ganguly, Jadavpur University, our esteemed fellow, to kindly read out the citations in respect of newly elected or newly selected Young Associates. Professor Ranjan Ganguly.
I am indeed honored to read out the citations of the future engineers, leaders of India. I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. B.S. Sindhu, Principal Scientist, Special and Multifunctional Research Laboratory, CSIR, Structural Engineering Research Center, SERC, Chennai. She has made significant contributions to the developing high-performance, multifunctional, cementitious and epoxy composites through a bottom-up multi-scale approach, integrating molecular dynamics, analytical techniques, and experimental investigations. Her work established structure property correlations leading to the hierarchically engineered strain-hardened composites for durable, lightweight, and seismic resilient infrastructure. I request President INAE to induct Dr. B.S. Sindhu as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Sindhu, as INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations once again.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Arya Vijayanandan, Associate Professor, Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. She has made significant research contributions in the areas of occurrence, fate, and transformation of contaminants of emerging concern CECs in environment, with emphasis on the fate of pharmaceuticals in biological and advanced oxidation processes. Her research also focuses on the development of robust analytical protocols for non-target screening and quantification of CECs. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Arya Vijayanandan as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Arya, and INAE Young Associates thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Now I have the great pleasure in introducing Dr. Ankit Agarwal, Associate Professor, Department of Hydrology, Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee. He specializes in hydroclimatology and natural hazards. He has pioneered the application of complexity science, merging nonlinear dynamics with hydrometeorology to understand multi-scale hydroclimatic interactions and forecast extremes. His engineering achievements include methodological advancements, enhanced physical understanding of hydroclimatic extreme, and contributions addressing societal and socio-economic impact of climate-related hazards. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Ankit Agarwal as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Ankit Agarwal, and INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Ashutosh Kumar, Assistant Professor, School of Civil and Environmental Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Mandi. He has made significant research contributions in foundation engineering and co-authored India's first code of practice on combined pile raft foundations, IS 19117-2025. He developed a climate adaptive barrier using water treatment residue that regulates rainfall infiltration to prevent landslides. He also devised testing protocols simulating coupled environmental and mechanical loading for transport embankment. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Ashutosh Kumar as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Ashutosh Kumar, and INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations.
Now I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Chaya Ganesh, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Automation, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. She has made outstanding contributions to modern cryptography, particularly in secure computation and zero-knowledge proofs. Her research has led to efficient, scalable, and probably secure protocols that advance decentralized, privacy-preserving technologies, including blockchain and multi-party computation. Her innovative work integrates foundational theory with real-world applicability, significantly strengthening the foundations of trustworthy and scalable cryptographic systems. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Chaya Ganesh as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Chaya Ganesh, and INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Now I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Shayak Rai Chaudhuri, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. He has made significant research contributions in the areas of machine learning and artificial intelligence, including the design of training algorithms for large language models, the development of reinforcement learning algorithms for automatic hyperparameter search, and algorithms for privacy-preserving machine learning. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Shayak Rai Chaudhuri as a Young Associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Sayak Ray Chaudhary, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Now I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Gurminder Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. He has made significant research contributions in the areas of additive manufacturing of hard-to-print materials and development of low-cost, innovative AM processes for customized, high-performance components. His work focuses on fabricating metals for efficient heat transfer, ceramics for solid oxide fuel cells and batteries, polymers for patient-specific biomedical implants, printing of multi-material components with metals and ceramics, data-driven and phase change modeling for solid-state joining processes. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Gurminder Singh as a Young Associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Gurminder Singh, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Mr. Bethavolu Venkata Arun Kiran, Scientific Officer F, Nuclear Fuel Complex, Department of Atomic Energy, Hyderabad. He has made significant engineering contributions in design and manufacturing of special purpose machines and technologies for critical nuclear applications, including advanced welding and finishing operations and automation projects for enhancing safety, quality, and productivity in nuclear fuel manufacturing. I request President INAE to induct Mr. Bethavolu Venkata Arun Kiran as a Young Associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Mr. B.V. Arun Kiran, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Absolutely.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Vicky Anand, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Jodhpur. He has made significant research contributions in the areas of electrocoalescence, desalter for polymeric and surfactant droplets, mathematical modeling and dynamics development for proton exchange membrane electrolyzer, and ceramic membrane development for gray water treatment. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Vicky Anand as a Young Associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Vicky Anand, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Now I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Harshal Agarwal, Principal Scientist, CSIR, Central Electrochemical Research Institute, CECRI, Chennai, and Assistant Professor, ACSIR, Ghaziabad. He has made significant research contributions in the field of hydrogen fuel cell technology and applied electrochemistry, technology development, and commercialization. His innovations in improving PEMFC efficiency, cost reduction, and scalable design led to India's first hydrogen-powered fuel cell car. He spearheads CSIR's hydrogen technology mission under H2 utilization category to advance India's clean energy transition. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Harshal Agarwal as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Harshal Agarwal, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Aniket Uday Thosar, Senior Manager, New Energy Initiatives at Reliance Industries Limited, Navi Mumbai. He has made significant research contributions to hydrogen value chain, developing elegant physics-based analytical models for hydrogen fuel cells, validated through three-dimensional multiphysics simulation and experiments, and building techno-economic optimization frameworks for green hydrogen systems, which support India's strategic push towards a sustainable hydrogen economy. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Aniket Uday Thosar as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Aniket Uday Thosar, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Vishnu Mahadeva Iyer, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. He has made significant research contributions in power electronics, particularly in the areas of transportation electrification, DC microgrids, battery energy storage systems, and renewable integration. His work advances high-efficiency power conversion systems, supporting modern energy networks and sustainable transportation. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Vishnu Mahadeva Iyer as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Vishnu Mahadeva Iyer, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Srinath Vijay Kumar, Associate Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering and Head, Smart Agritech Center for Advanced Research and Development, SADCARD, Indian Institute of Technology, Palakkad. He has made significant research contributions in the areas of sensors and electronic instrumentations. He has developed the world's first of its kind fuel sensor for monitoring level, dual axis tilt, and petrol ethanol composition, and also designed innovative farm monitoring devices to assess soil, plant, and meteorological parameters for improved agricultural efficiency. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Srinath Vijay Kumar as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Srinath Vijay Kumar, an INAE Young Associate thereof.
Thank you so much.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Vikrant Karim, Assistant Professor, Center of Applied Research in Electronics, Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. He has made significant research contributions to the development of implantable, wearable, ingestible medical devices for wireless biotelemetric applications, particularly for retinal prosthesis. He invented an ultra-wideband, smallest size radiant element as an intraocular unit to enhance the image perception capability of a blind through a visual angle of more than 40 degrees. He also developed a low-profile capsule prototype and successfully tested inside Wister rat for wireless capsule endoscopy. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Vikrant Kaim as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Vikrant Kaim, and INAE Young Associate thereof.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Balaswamy Velpula, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical Communication Engineering, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. He has made significant research contributions in fiber lasers and nonlinear fiber optics, particularly in developing high-performance Raman fiber lasers and supercontinuum sources with wide-ranging applications. His efforts in development of advanced high-power fiber laser technologies have led to successful technology transfer for strategic and defense applications of national importance. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Balaswamy Velpula as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Balaswamy Velpula, an INAE Young Associate thereof.
Okay. I have great pleasure in introducing Mr. Gaurav Kumar, Scientist Engineer SE, Space Application Center, Ahmedabad. He has developed cutting-edge miniaturized and wideband antenna technologies for next-generation space missions. His innovations include UWB GNSS antennas for Microsat 2C, compact UWB antennas for Chandrayaan-5 rover, a 30-meter deployable Venus orbiter antenna, and advanced active phase arrays with beamforming ICs and MLB integrations, strengthening India's self-reliance through Make in India and technology transfer initiatives. I request President INAE to induct Mr. Gaurav Kumar as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Mr. Gaurav Kumar, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations.
Now I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Sai Gautam Gopalakrishnan, Assistant Professor, Department of Materials Engineering, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. He has made significant contributions in the materials design and materials discovery for energy applications, including identification of novel electrodes and electrolytes materials for batteries, constructing machine-learned models to model interfaces relevant in energy applications, and advancing the use of transfer learning for hard to estimate material properties. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Sai Gautam Gopalakrishnan as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Sai Gautam Gopalakrishnan, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Mr. G. Bharat Reddy, Scientific Officer E in the Mechanical Metallurgy Division at the Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Mumbai. He has made significant research contributions in the areas of high temperature deformation and processing of zirconium-based alloys and low alloy steel used in pressurized water reactors. His research focuses on structure property, correlations, and deformation micromechanics across various time and length scales. I request President INAE to induct Mr. G. Bharat Reddy as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Mr. G. Bharat Reddy, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Premakumar Murugayan, Principal Scientist, Advanced Materials and Corrosion Division, CSIR National Metallurgical Laboratory, CSIR NML, Jamshedpur. He has made significant research contributions in the field of amorphous and non-crystalline soft magnetic alloys, rare earth-free hard magnets, and additive manufacturing grade metal powders. He has played a pivotal role in the indigenous industrial production of iron-based nanocrystalline alloys, the technology transfer of electromagnetic sensors for heavy industries, and the development of planar flow casting equipment in India. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Prem Kumar Murugayan as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Mr. Dr. Premakumar Murugayan, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations. Turn around, yeah. Congratulations.
Now I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Pallavi Das, Principal Scientist at CSIR Central Institute of Mining and Fuel Research, Dhanbad. She works at the interface of novel separation processes, geochemistry, and material chemistry. She has developed scalable forward osmosis and membrane crystallization systems for mine water treatment, including acid mine drainage mitigation and waste valorization in sectors ranging from steel making to iron beneficiation. Her patented innovations are being scaled up for technology transfer in the domains of sustainable mining and circular economy advancement. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Pallavi Das as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Pallavi Das, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations, Patrick.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Ranjit Thangavel, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Tirupati. He has made significant research contributions in the areas of electrochemical energy storage and conversion, including development of energy storage material and devices, high energy density Li-ion sodium ion batteries, and beyond Li-ion batteries, solid state battery, and capacitors, EDLCs, and hybrid. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Ranjit Thangavel as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Ranjit Thangavel, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Mr. Jayantaro Mohite, scientist at Digital Food Initiative, DFI, Tata Consultancy Services, Mumbai. He specializes in geospatial, AI, ML, and computer vision. He has developed the Sky Earth Convergence Framework for scalable Earth observation database solution for monitoring, reporting, and verification of sustainable agriculture, forest monitoring, food quality analytics. His work integrates domain knowledge with AI models, enabling operational transferable frameworks. He contributes to 45 plus publications, 40 plus patents, and monitoring of 300 million hectares, significantly boosting TCS's IP and business impact. I request President INAE to induct Mr. Jayant Rao Mohite as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Mr. Jayant Rao Mohite, an young associate thereof. One skip back.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Richa Karmakar, Assistant Professor, Department of Biotechnology, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. She has made significant research contributions in the areas of microfluidics and biophysics of bacterial chemotaxis and host pathogen interactions, including the development of lab-on-a-chip platforms for rapid antimicrobial susceptibility testing and disease diagnostics for low-cost paper-based microfluidic devices for point-of-care use and microfluidic models of disease microenvironments. Her work also investigates bacterial chemotaxis under antibiotic stress to advance strategies for infectious disease management. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Richa Karmakar as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Richa Karmakar, an INAE Young Associate thereof.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Sumit Kumar Mondal, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Automation, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. He has made significant research contributions in the areas of energy efficient accelerator for ML algorithms. His recent work on accelerating LLM interface inference with emerging device technology shows significant benefits in performance and energy consumption compared to widely used edge devices with GPUs. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Sumit Kumar Mondal as a young associate of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Sumit Kumar Mandal, an INAE Young Associate thereof. Congratulations.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the induction of the selected young associates. So good afternoon once again. With that, I shall request President INAE, Mr. J.D. Patil, Professor Sivaji Chakravarti, Vice President INAE, Mr. T. Suvarna Raju, Vice President INAE, Professor U.B. Desai, Vice President INAE, to kindly take the place at the dais. I'm sure the esteemed fellows who are being inducted today would have seen a dry rehearsal of the process we are about to follow, but just for the sake of surety, I'll just describe. The respective conveners will call on the inducting fellow, read out their citation, and at that point of time, I'll request the honorable fellow to take a place here. It is their moment on the red carpet, wherein the citation is read out, followed by the reading of the oath by President INAE, and then the presentation of the parchment, followed by the entry in the INAE register, which is right at the extreme of the dais, and then the exit. Meanwhile, we are very happy to note that our head of the organization of our gracious host, Dr. D.K. Sunil, is right here with us, and with the permission of the President, if I may commence the proceedings. So for that, may I invite Mr. T. Suvarna Raju, former CMD, HAL, and our Vice President, to kindly do the honors in reading the citation in respect of Dr. D.K. Sunil, FNAE.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. D.K. Sunil, Chairman and Managing Director, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. He is a distinguished technologist with 4 decades experience in aerospace and defense sector. Under his stewardship and leadership, HAL has transformed into a Maharatna company and became the first defense PSU to achieve Maharatna status. His technological acumen has led to design, development of software-defined radio for various Indian fixed-wing and rotary-wing platforms, such as Dornier 228, Advanced Light Helicopter, etc. This involved development of hardware, software, and a waveform, giving India its very own secure radio network of future. He also led the development of indigenous mission computer for Jaguar, light combat helicopter, aircraft Tejas, light combat helicopter, including development of mill-grade hardware and software, which led to self-reliance of our country in avionics domain and has given unilateral capability within our country to integrate any weapon system without support from the foreign original equipment manufacturers. I request President INAE to kindly induct Dr. D.K. Sunil as a Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering. Thank you.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. D.K. Sunil, a fellow thereof.
For the civil engineering section, it is now my earnest request to Professor C.S.P. Ojha, Convener, Civil Engineering, Department of Civil Engineering IIT Roorkee to kindly come to the stage and induct the newly elected fellows of INAE for Civil Engineering. Thank you, Professor Ojas. Please come.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I have great pleasure introducing Professor G.L. Shiv Kumar Babu. He is Professor, Department of Civil Engineering and Center for Sustainable Technologies, IIC Bangalore. So, Professor Babu contributed significantly to research, teaching and practice in geotechnical and geoenvironmental engineering in India, including applications of probabilistic methods, geomechanics, forensic engineering, sustainable engineering, landfill engineering, pavement geotechnics, and remediation of contaminated sites. He handled many national and international research projects and contributed significantly to professional practice as consultant and in developing codes and guidance documents. He served as chairman of Center for Continuing Education, IIC Bangalore, for 10 years and introduced many initiatives in meeting the needs of professionals, teachers and students and contributed to online education significantly. I request President INAE to induct Professor G.L. Shiv Kumar Babu as a fellow of the INAE.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Shiv Kumar Babu, a fellow thereof. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Suresh Balla, who is just heading the stage. Professor, Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, IIT Delhi. Professor Balla is well known for original groundbreaking India-centric research contributions in structural health monitoring that bridge fundamental research, technology translation from lab to field, and policy influence. He also works in the field of vibration control, piezoelectric energy harvesting assessment, and conservation of heritage structures and Indian knowledge system approach for green construction. His cutting-edge research dovetailed to engineered bamboo as a credible carbon-negative construction material aligns well with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 9, 12, and 13. His product process inventions have resulted in the incubation of 3 deep technology startups related to structural health monitoring, energy dissipation devices, and carbon-negative construction technology. I request President INAE to induct Professor Balla as a fellow of the INAE.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Suresh Balla, to be a fellow thereof.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Subhankar Karmakar, Professor of Environmental Science and Engineering, and Vinay and Samir Kapoor, Chair Professor in Climate Studies, IIT Mumbai. He specializes in hydroclimatic extremes, flood forecasting, and climate risk modeling. He developed the flood modeling module of India's first integrated urban flood forecasting system for Chennai, integrating 1D, 2D coupled hydrodynamic modeling with AI-driven analytics adapted by the Office of the PSA Government of India and transferred to NCCR MOES. He successfully transferred flood risk mapping technology to ISRO NRSC, demonstrated in the Mahanadi Basin, and created a climate adaptation mobile app under Manrega for block level vulnerability assessment across multiple states. He exemplifies engineering leadership linking science, technology, and policy for national resilience. I request President INAE to induct Professor Subhankar Karmakar as a fellow of INAE.
In the name and by the authority of the National Academy of Engineering, Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Subhankar Karmakar, a fellow thereof.
Now I invite Professor Arvind Kumar Nema. He is Deputy Director Operations and Professor Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, IIT Delhi. I have great pleasure in introducing Professor A.K. Nema, and he is a pioneer in the area of environmental systems analysis, environmental impact and risk assessment, and integrated waste management in India. Under his leadership, the framework for identification of critically polluted areas was developed and stabilized. He played a pivotal role in developing the manual on sewage and sewage management and the committee for remediation of hazardous waste contaminated dump sites. His notable contributions have led to the creation of the Environmental Action Plan for critically polluted industrial areas, the use of waste as a supplementary resource, energy recovery initiatives, and the remediation of hazardous waste contaminated dump sites. I request President INAE to induct Professor Arvind Kumar Nema as a Fellow of INAE. Yeah.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Nema, a Fellow thereof.
Thank you, Professor Oja. I now request Professor Shalabh Bhatnagar, Department of Computer Science and Automation, ISC Bengaluru, Convener, Section 2, to kindly come to the stage. Please, sir, over to you.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Sethuraman Panchanathan, University Professor of Technology and Innovation, Arizona State University and former Director, US National Science Foundation. He is a global leader in science, technology and innovation with more than 3 decades of experience in higher education and government. He has designed and built knowledge enterprises to advance research, innovation, academic programs, strategic partnerships, entrepreneurship and global engagement for economic development, national security and societal progress. His immediate past position was as the 15th Director of the US National Science Foundation, and he received the Padma Shri from the President of India in May 2025. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Sethuraman Panchanathan as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Sethuraman Panchanathan, in absentia, a Fellow thereof. Oh, you're present. Congratulations.
It's always a pleasure, and in my case, it's doubly a pleasure to receive an honor bestowed by your peers as well as your country of birth. I accept this humbly and express my immense gratitude to all of you. Thank you.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Rohini Srivatsa, Senior Advisor on Business and AI Strategy, Board Member and Professor and former Chief Technology Officer, Microsoft India and South Asia. She has 3 decades of rich experience spanning research, strategy, consulting and technology leadership, and has made significant contributions in the field of ethical and trustworthy AI across India's policy and industry ecosystem. She helped shape Niti Aayog's Responsible AI Policy for India Principles and Operationalization 2019 to 2021, along with the World Economic Forum. She contributed to NASSCOM's Responsible AI Resource Kit in 2023, served as Microsoft India's Responsible AI Leader 2018 to 25, and brought the Global South's perspectives to Microsoft Global Office of Responsible AI Sensitive Users Committee. She has taught at the Indian School of Business, Executive Education on Ethics, Privacy and Regulations in AI and ML since 2020. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Rohini Srivatsa as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Rohini Srivatsa, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations.
So I have great pleasure in introducing Professor R. Venkatesh Babu, Professor and Chair, Department of Computational and Data Sciences, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He is a globally recognized leader in computer vision, deep learning, and AI, and his pioneering contributions have significantly advanced the state of the art in critical areas. His research on adversarial robustness, domain adaptation, and generative AI has driven the development of fair, deployable, and truly generalized intelligent systems. Professor Babu's outstanding research contributions and exemplary academic leadership are well known. I request President INAE to induct Professor R. Venkatesh Babu as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Venkatesh Babu Radhakrishnan, a fellow thereof. Congratulations. Turn around, straight. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Ponurangan Kumaraguru, Professor of Computer Science in IIT Hyderabad. He is a distinguished researcher and educator whose contributions span cyber security, privacy, social computing, and responsible AI. His doctoral work at Carnegie Mellon University contributed to the creation of Wombat Security Technologies, later acquired for USD 225 million. Technologies that he has built like Asma, Safety, TweetCred in the last 15 years have been used widely by government agencies and end users. As an ACM distinguished member and Vice President of ACM India, he has driven national programs like PhD Clinic and Anveshan Setu to enhance PhD research quality in the country. He is a TEDx speaker. His advisory roles with government committees and agencies have influenced national AI and data governance policies. I request President INAE to induct Professor Ponurangam Kumaraguru as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Ponumurugan Kumaraguru, as a Fellow thereof. Oh yes.
Can I do a selfie?
Sure.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Arpan Pal, Distinguished Chief Scientist, TCS Research Tata Consultancy Services Limited. He has made exemplary contribution in the areas of embedded systems, signal processing, sensing, communication, and edge computing with real-life deployment of engineered products in the field of IoT and robotics, backed by research-led intellectual property as differentiator. He has also played a key role in promoting industry-academia ecosystem development in India around these areas. He has built systems, devices, and platforms spanning healthcare, manufacturing, and logistics industry with significant commercial and societal impact, and has been instrumental in bringing global recognition and attention to AI-driven industrial embedded systems. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Arpan Pal as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Arpan Pal, a fellow thereof. Thank you.
I have great pleasure in introducing Ms. Charumati Srinivasan, Corporate Vice President and Distinguished Engineer, Microsoft. She is an expert in distributed systems and cloud computing and is a pioneer who democratized advanced disaster recovery and data replication technologies. delivering innovative cloud-based solutions that protect businesses of all sizes. Under her leadership, key technologies such as Azure Site Recovery for business continuity and Azure Arc for hybrid cloud management have transformed how industries adopt and manage cloud computing. She developed secure clean room platforms for confidential computing, enabling collaborative analytics without compromising privacy. She also mentored world-class engineering teams, inspiring a new generation of innovators. Her work exemplifies engineering excellence with a human touch, bridging cutting-edge innovation with real-world impact. I request President INAE to induct Ms. Charumati Srinivasan as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Charumati Srinivasan, a fellow thereof. Thank you so much. Thank you once again.
Now call upon Professor N.C. Murmu, Director, CSIR, Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute, to kindly come to the stage and induct the newly elected fellows for Engineering Section 3, that is the Mechanical Engineering section. Dr. Murmu, please.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Bhupendra Kumar Gandhi, Professors, Department of Mechanical Engineering and Industrial Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee. He is pioneer researcher in the area of rotor machine, especially the hydraulic turbines, pumps. He contributed to understanding of vortex rope formations and mitigations during the off-design operation of turbine. His work benefited power plants through in-situ performance testing. He also developed an erosion-friendly guide vent design. His work on centrifugal slurry pump enabled increase in solid concentrations and improved service life. He innovated a slurry pod tester to experimentally simulate the erosion wear at high velocities for industrial applications. For Indian trains, he developed a centrifugal impeller and also contributed aerodynamic design. He improvised the design, construction and maintenance of water supply lines and schemes in hilly areas. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Bhupendra Kumar Gandhi as the Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Bhupendra Kumar Gandhi, a fellow thereof. Congratulations. Thank you.
I have great pleasures in introducing Professor Vikram Deshpande, Professor of Materials Engineering at Cambridge University. He has made seminal contributions in mechanics of materials, ranging from the design of micro-architect materials to modeling of soft and active materials. He has made fundamental discoveries by combination of novel experiments and theoretical insights that have laid the foundation for microstructural mechanics of engineering and biological systems, a new field that helped create during the past 1.5 decades. His work has redefined the modern frontiers of mechanics research and also had profound impact in engineering science and related technologies. I request President INAE to induct Professor Vikram Deshpande as a Fellow of the National Academy of Engineering in absentia.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Vikram Sudhir Deshpande, in absentia, a fellow thereof. I believe you are going to join us online.
It is a great honor and privilege to be inducted as a member of the Indian National Academy of Engineering. To be recognized in my motherland is particularly gratifying. I look forward to working with and serving the Academy for the benefit of the country and broader society. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have great pleasures in introducing Professor Amaresh Chakraborty, Senior Professor and Chair, Department of Design and Manufacturing, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He is a pioneer in the areas of design theory, methodology, research methodology, DRM. Design research methodology co-developed by him is used worldwide for structuring design research. His significant contribution in creativity and biosphere design, such as the Sapphire model of causality and integrated model of designing, have resulted design tools such as ideas, inspired functions that have led the major innovations in aerospace, biomedical, FMG sectors, to name few. He has also developed Ideas Lab, India's first design observatory, ISC Smart Factory, India's first indigenously developed smart factory, and D-Box, the gamified robot toolkit for transforming the design education for school children. I request President INAE to induct Professor Amrish Chakraborty as the Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Amrish Chakraborty, a fellow thereof.
Professor.
Thank you.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Prabhu Rajagopal, Professor of Department of Mechanical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Professor Rajagopal is an expert in automation and data engineering. His original contribution in development of ultrasonic sensors, robotic platform, and secure data management are widely recognized. He co-founded startups including the Planis, submersible robot, Solinus, robot for the water and salinations, Zyma, high temperature ultrasonic sensors that are disrupting the asset integrity monitoring space with the deep industrial and societal impact. His work on blockchain and AI for the secure management of electronic records, commercialized through Plenum, is bridging the last mile connectivity gaps in healthcare and e-governance. He is the member of the board taking the startup incubator of IIT Palakkad and Global Sanitation Center of Excellence. He took charge of IIT Madras campus in Tanzania. I request President INAE to induct Professor Prabhu Rajagopal as a fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Prabhu Rajagopal, a fellow thereof. Congratulations. Welcome to INAE.
I now request Dr. Archana Sharma to kindly come to the dais and induct the newly elected fellows of Engineering Section 4, that is Chemical Engineering Section. Dr. Sharma.
Thank you for this pleasant duty. I have a great pleasure in introducing Professor Gareth H. McKinley, FRS Professor, School of Engineering, Professor of Teaching Innovation, Department of Mechanical Engineering, MIT, USA. He is a rheologist and chemical engineering specializing in unraveling the effects of viscoelasticity on the stability of fluid flows. He is a pioneer in the development of new rheological techniques for characterizing the time-dependent and non-linear material properties of complex fluids. He has developed a range of new instruments for measuring the extensional rheology of polymeric fluids, as well as novel software for rapidly characterizing and analyzing the non-linear and time-varying properties of polymers, suspension, and gels. I request President INAE to induct Professor Gareth H. McKinley as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Gareth McKinley, a fellow thereof in absentia. I believe he is online.
Good evening to my esteemed colleagues and friends. It's a great honor to be elected as a foreign fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering. This is a wonderful recognition, and I greatly appreciate all of your support and confidence.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Kirti Chandra Sahu, Professor, Department of Chemical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. His research contributions include the study of cloud and raindrops, industrially relevant interfacial flows, and hydrodynamic instabilities. His groundbreaking experiments, conducted using his unique world-class experimental facility and supported by comprehensive theoretical analysis, provide much needed information on the shape and size distributions of raindrops at various altitudes. By mimicking atmospheric conditions, these experiments enable more accurate rainfall predictions and can be integrated with weather forecasting and climate modeling. I request President INAE to induct Professor Kirti Chandra Sahu as a Fellow of INAE.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Kirti Chandra Sahu, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Narendra M. Dikshit, Professor of Chemical Engineering and Associate Faculty of Bioengineering, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He is a leader in mathematical and computational modeling of biological phenomena. His research has addressed important questions in infection diseases and biotechnology. It has generated fundamental insight into the outcomes of major infectious diseases like COVID-19 and HIV/AIDS and helped maximize the impact of interventions with drugs and vaccines. He has also developed algorithms tools for the efficient design of multi-space microbial communities with wide implications to the healthcare, pharmaceutical and biotechnology industry. I request President INAE to induct Professor Narendra M. Dikshit as a Fellow of INAE.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Narendra Dikshit, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations. Welcome.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Rajneesh Kumar, Professor, Department of Chemical Engineering and Head School of Sustainability, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. His major contributions lie in developing novel, sustainable and scalable technologies for energy and climate challenges. His significant contributions are in the field of carbon dioxide capture and sequestration. He has successfully transferred technology to directly capture CO2 from air, which L&T has implemented commercially. Further, he has developed and demonstrated a sustainable approach of CCS using catalytic hydrates as a medium of efficient capturing CO2 from industrial flue gases and sequestrating the same as solid gas hydrates under the seabed. I request President INAE to induct Professor Rajneesh Kumar as a Fellow of the INAE.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Rajneesh Kumar, a Fellow thereof. Thank you, sir. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Venkatramana Runkuna, Chief Scientist, Tata Consultancy Services Limited. He is a pioneer in the area of digital twins for process manufacturing industries in India and abroad. Dr. Runkuna and his team have developed model-based optimization, control and digital twin solutions, combining artificial intelligence with physics-based model and industrial domain knowledge. His team has also developed the AI-powered platform TCS InTwin for development of digital twins. It has been deployed across diverse industries such as chemical, pulp and paper, iron and steel, and power utilities, and has helped in reducing emissions, enhancing productivity, improving product quality, and in predictive maintenance of process equipment. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Venkatramana Runkuna as a Fellow of INAE.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Venkatramana Runkana, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations. Welcome.
I have great pleasure introducing Dr. Prasant Kumar Mahapatra, former Director, Radiochemistry and Isotope Group, Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Mumbai. He has made original contributions in the area of radioactive waste remediation using innovative separation schemes by technologies such as solid phase extraction, liquid membranes, and solvent extraction using exotic multifunctional diglycolamide-based extracts. He has developed highly efficient environmentally benign solvents based on room temperature ionic liquids for metal ion separation. His developed methods have shown very high separation factors for the separation of long-lived radionuclides from complex radioactive waste, including the high-level liquid waste. He demonstrated separation of long-lived minor actinides and radiocesium from actual radioactive feeds. He led a team in setting up a demo plant facility for the treatment of dye effluents. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Prasant Kumar Mahapatra as a Fellow of INAE.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Prasanta Kumar Mohapatra, a fellow thereof. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations once again. Welcome.
For engineering section 5, that is the electrical engineering, may I now request Professor Saikat Chakrabarti to kindly come onto the dais and read the citations of the newly elected fellows for the electrical engineering section. Professor Chakrabarti, please.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Vikas Chandra Pal, Professor of Power Systems at Imperial College, London. He is internationally known for innovations and engineering achievements contributing to the stability and control of power networks with renewable generation. His research, analyses, and solutions have been adopted by Siemens, GE Grid Solutions, and others. He is IEEE PES President-elect 26-27. He has delivered meritorious professional service as editor-in-chief of journals for the IET and IEEE, chair of IEEE technical committees, chair of the board of IEEE Power and Energy Society publications, member of IEEE PES governing board, the developer of an IEEE benchmark power system model, and coordinator of international research projects. He founded and directed the MSc program in Future Power Networks at Imperial College, London. I request President INAE to induct Professor Vikas Chandra Pal as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Vikas Chandra Pal, a fellow thereof. Congratulations.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, nice to be here. Absolutely.
Say one word.
Yeah, sure. Right. Just here.
It's really a privilege to come here, and I could not have been more honored to receive this from my teacher of Jadavpur University. Such a proof.
Very nice. Very nice.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Anup Kumar Panda, Professor, HAG, Department of Electrical Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Rourkela. Dr. Panda specializes in power electronics and renewable energy systems. He has made outstanding contributions to the development of sub-switching converters, multi-level inverters, power quality enhancement, and renewable energy integration. His innovations, including cascaded multi-level inverters and multi-port DC-DC converters, input power factor correction circuits, have significantly advanced energy efficiency and compact power conversion technologies. He has successfully executed major R&D projects sponsored by MHRD, CSIR, MIT, and DST, and has contributed to national technical committees. He is a recipient of the Professor Ajay Kumar Mohanty Endowed Chair Professorship, reflecting his exemplary leadership and institutional contributions. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Anup Kumar Panda as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Amit Kumar Panda, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Professor Nilanjan Sen Rai. I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Nilanjan Sen Rai, Power Grid Chair Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering, and Dean Alumni Relations, Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. He is an expert in the area of modeling of dynamic interactions between conventional generators and renewable energy generating systems in a power grid. Using new modeling approaches, he has developed novel control strategies to manage these interactions. He pioneered statistical signal processing tools to analyze wide area synchronized measurements from across a power grid to determine the system dynamics and its stability properties. His research has been supported by industries such as NTPC, Power Grid Corporation, Renew Power, as well as DST. His fundamental contributions to the understanding of power grid operations and control in the presence of large-scale renewable energy integration directly translate to better grid management practices to enable integration of renewable energy generation into the bulk power network. I request President INAE to induct Professor Nilanjan Sen Rai as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Nilanjan Sen Rai, a Fellow thereof.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Jayesh Varve, Principal R&D Engineer, Digital Controls and Optimization, GE Varnova Advanced Research Center, Bengaluru. Dr. Varve has over 30 years of industrial academic R&D experience with strong contributions that includes early stage and near product stage TRL 1 to TRL 8, development covering multidisciplinary systems, technology, R&D prototypes, pilot plans, interdisciplinary systems, modeling simulation, and advanced control optimization solutions across application domains like fossil and renewable power, microgrid, process control, next-gen refrigeration, manufacturing automation, and robotics. Two highlighted accomplishments contribute towards addressing global or universal energy access challenge via innovative microgrid in container developed along with integrated IIoT edge cloud digital platform including multiple pilot or product deployments towards viable rural electrification while impacting human lives and energy transition challenge via innovative lab scale steam generator research prototype and its usage supporting agile power plant boiler controls R&D. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Jayesh Varve as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering. Congratulations.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Jayesh Kumar Jayanarayan Barve, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations once again.
For Engineering Section 6, it is my now privilege to call upon Dr. V.K. Agrawal, ex-outstanding scientist ISRO, to kindly come onto the stage and induct the newly elected fellows of Engineering Section 6, that is Electronics and Communications Engineering. Professor Agrawal, please.
I have a great pleasure in introducing Professor Ross Murch, Chair Professor at Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. He is a pioneer in the area of multiple antenna systems for wireless communication. His research has contributed to the development of multi-user, multiple input, multiple output wireless systems that are used in everyday communication devices. He has also pioneered in the multi-user technique in orthogonal frequency domain multiplexing that is also used in wireless communication system that we use every day. I request President INAE to induct Professor Ross Morse as a Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Ross D. Morse, a Fellow thereof in absentia. I believe you are joining us.
Thank you to the Indian National Academy of Engineering. It's a great honor to be inducted as a fellow alongside this distinguished group. I look forward to working with you all to advance wireless communications and bring the benefits of technology to the world.
Thank you.
I have a great pleasure in introducing Dr. Ram Vilas Pachauri. Professor HAG, Department of Electrical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Indore. His prominent scientific contributions are in the area of signal processing with medical application. He has developed new and advanced signal decomposition techniques to address challenges in brain-computer interface and machine learning-based automated diagnostic of diseases from physiology signals. He developed the theoretical framework for Fourier-Bessel series expansion. Based on the FESE framework, he has proposed various new signal and image analysis methods. His recent contribution include the eigenvalue decomposition of Hankel matrix-based non-stationary signal analysis technique. He has proposed multivariate extension of several univariate signal decomposition methods and lightweight automated classification system for wearable healthcare devices. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Ram Vilas Pachauri as a Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Ram Vilas Pachauri, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations.
I have a great pleasure in introducing Dr. Saif Khan Mohammed, Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. He is a pioneer of a new modulation waveform, JAC-OTFS, which solves the challenging problem of achieving reliable high throughput communication in time-varying signal propagation environments. His work introduces a new paradigm of communication and sensing in the delay Doppler domain, where the response of the time-varying signal appears stationary and enables next-generation application scenarios characterized by time-varying propagation. For example, LEO satellite-based non-terrestrial network for providing ambiguous broadband connectivity, reliable and high-throughput aircraft and UAV communication, and efficient integrated sensing and communication. JAC-OTFS is recognized by leading telecommunication international companies and is being studied in 3GPP for standardization as a 6th-generation technology. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Saif Khan Mohammed as a Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Saif Khan Mohammed, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Professor Bobby George. I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Bobby George, Professor and Head of the Department of Medical Sciences and Technology, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, with a joint appointment in electrical engineering. He has made pioneer contribution to sensor technology and measurement science, particularly in non-intrusive sensing. He was the first to integrate capacitive electrical field and inductive magnetic field sensing principle into single compact sensor, enabling accurate detection of both conductive and non-conductive objects. His innovation includes non-intrusive seawater conductivity measurement system for environmental monitoring, contactless AC voltage measurement systems, and commercially successful brake bear sensors. He co-developed an ophthalmical anesthetic training system with Sankara Nethralaya and created novel vehicle detection system for intelligent transportation. I request President INAE to induct Professor Bobby George as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Bobby George, a fellow thereof.
I just find out. I'll find.
Better? Oh, take it. It is fine. There it is there. Fine. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have a great pleasure in introducing Dr. Subhadra Kumar Datta, outstanding scientist and center head, Microwave Tube Research and Development Center, please. Microwave Tube Research and Development Center, MTRDC, DRDO, Bangalore. He is a pioneer in the area of microwave vacuum tube electronics devices in India and is well known for his leadership role and innovation leading to the development of state-of-art miniature traveling tube TWTs and compact transmitters for defense application. He enriched the technology of high-power TWTs by the research focused on broadband banding of the device to achieve multi-octave bandwidths, stabilizing the device against instabilities, efficiency enhancement of the device, and compactization of the device. His work led to the development and productionization of several miniaturized TWTs for microwave power modules and compact transmitters. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Subhadra Kumar Datta as a Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering. Please. No, thanks.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Subrata Kumar Datta, a fellow thereof.
Okay, thank you very much.
For section 7, I may now request Professor G. Jagadish, Chairman of Excellence in Hypersonics and Professor, Department of Aerospace Engineering, ISC Bengaluru, to kindly comment.
Lovely. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May I now have the pleasure of introducing to you Professor P.A. Ramakrishna, who is the Institute Chair, Professor of Department of Aerospace Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Professor Ramakrishna is a pioneer in the area of ramjet propulsion. He has made path-breaking contribution towards understanding propellant combustion. He has made significant contribution to the adoption of ramjet technology to an artillery shell. Through his contribution, currently artillery shells have with ramjet technology, and they have been fired from the Bofors gun system. They can go up to 43 kilometers without reduction in lethality of the cell. He is also involved in the development of an IC engine based quadcopter tail-seater B biplane and other related technology. I request President of INAE to induct Professor P.A. Ramakrishna as the Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor P.A. Ramakrishna, a fellow thereof.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I now have great pleasure in introducing Professor Ashok De, Professor, Department of Aerospace Engineering and Dean, Academic Affairs, Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. An eminent researcher in CFD, high-speed flows, multi-phase flows, turbulent combustion, and fluid structure interaction, his outstanding contributions include developing advanced simulation frameworks for propulsion and energy systems, integrating fundamental turbulence and combustion science with engineering scale modeling. At IIT Kanpur, he helped establish premier facilities in computational propulsion and fostering wide-ranging collaborations between academia and industry. His leadership has strengthened India's computational engineering ecosystem and advanced indigenous capabilities in high-performance computing and propulsion technologies. He continues to contribute to enhance India's technological self-reliance in aerospace science and engineering through his research contribution. May I now request President INAE to induct Professor Ashok De as the Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Ashok De, a fellow thereof. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Manikya Vasagam, Distinguished Scientist, Program Director and Director SPIC, DRDO. He is a pioneer in the area of missile system design and contributed to the self-reliance in missiles for the Indian Defence Services. His contribution resulted in innovations for Indian Defence Services in the state-of-the-art missile systems in both tactical and strategic domains. He was the chief architect of the new generation ballistic missile Agni Prime, and the Agni Prime missile has been configured with all the state-of-the-art technologies like advanced propulsion system and deception mechanism for ballistic missile defense. He also designed, developed and implemented guidance algorithms for both tactical and strategic missiles. He contributed significantly to the design of futuristic missile systems like hypersonic missile and multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle. May I now have the pleasure of requesting President INAE to induct Dr. Manikya Vasagam Marudanayagam as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Manikya Vasagam Marudanayagam, a fellow thereof. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Vijay V. Patel, Outstanding Scientist, Technology Director of the Control Law Group in Aeronautical Development Agency, Bengaluru. Dr. Patel played a major role in LCA flight control law design, development and flight testing right from its inception. His contributions towards notch filter design, flight envelope expansion, development of boundary limiting features to conduct flight tests at the edge of the flight envelope to verify and validate carefree maneuvering flight control laws are noteworthy. His contribution towards experimental PID flight testing and carefree maneuvering holding qualities along with the air-to-air refueling capability and crosswind landings were extraordinary towards achieving final operational clearance. The naval variant successfully carried out a ski jump takeoff and arrested hook landing on the aircraft carrier. He solved 3 open problems in mathematical control theory and made significant contributions towards practical flight control design using L1 adaptive control. May I now have the pleasure of requesting the President INAE to induct Dr. Vijay V. Patel as the Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Vijay V. Patel, a fellow thereof.
call Professor Kantesh Balani, Professor and Head, Advanced Center for Material Science at IIT Kanpur, to kindly come to the dais.
Thank you. A very good afternoon to everyone. I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Julia King, Baroness Brown of Cambridge, crossbench member of the House of Lords in the UK and chair of the Adaptation Committee of the UK Climate Change. She has contributed to science, engineering and policy in a wide range of areas. As a materials engineer, she determined the relationships between microstructure and properties in aero engine alloys which provided the best resistance to fatigue, an approach now used to design materials for aero engine turbines. Her more recent work has addressed climate change, ensuring governments develop policies based on the best scientific evidences. She led the King Review for the UK government on decarbonizing transport, was vice chair of the UK Climate Change Committee for 12 years, and now chairs its Adaptation Committee. Her work has had a major impact on the UK government's approach to reducing emissions and making the country more resilient to climate change. I request President INAE to induct Professor Julia King as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Julia King, a Fellow thereof in absentia. I believe you are joining us.
It's a great honour for me to be inducted into this star-studded group of engineers and technologists that make up the Indian National Academy of Engineering. Thank you so much for this honour.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Gaur Gopal Roy, Professor, Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. His outstanding contributions are in understanding transport phenomena in materials processing applications. Specifically, he has erected a pilot-scale gas-fired rotary Hertz furnace at an industrial site, ASP Durgapur, and demonstrated producing 85% metallized sponge iron from iron ore and coal finds of Indian origin. He was the prime architect for developing an indigenous numerical code for fusion welding, providing scientific insight into the welding processes in collaboration with Pennsylvania State University, USA. His research group has identified optimum operating parameters for calcium rare earth treatment of steel towards inclusion control and stable casting, as well as forging schedules for HEC grade steels in the presence of inclusions. I request President INAE to induct Professor Gaur Gopal Roy as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Gaur Gopal Roy, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Vima Varapu MSR Murthy, Professor, Department of Mining Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Indian School of Mines, Dhanbad, and presently on deputation as Director, Indian Institute of Engineering Sciences and Technology, Shibpur. Professor Murthy is involved in the areas of controlled rock blasting, mechanized mining, TBM tunneling, underwater rock dredging and rock characterization for TBM applications. He also developed a virtual reality mine simulation laboratory for imparting immersive teaching to achieve improved safety and productivity in coal mining. Under his leadership, the mining industry and construction sectors realized higher production, productivity, safety and operational excellence. The research outcomes and technology development have also resulted in improved teaching, research and innovative practices in academics and industry alike. I request President INAE to induct Professor Vima Varapu MSR Murthy as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor VMSR Murthy, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. Vilas Tathavatkar, Chief Technology Officer, Hindalco Industries Limited and President Metal and Mining Technology Function, Aditya Birla Science and Technology Private Limited. He is a process metallurgy expert in non-ferrous and ferrous industry in India. Under his stewardship and leadership, Hindalco developed innovative technological solutions for aluminum smelting, copper smelting, and specialty alumina products. His significant contributions have resulted in technology innovations with annual savings more than rupees 250 crores. He has also developed novel technology for harvesting hydrogen from waste heat of LD slag at Tata Steel. I request President INAE to induct Dr. Vilas Tathavadkar as Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Dr. Vilas Tathavadkar, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations and welcome to INAE.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor S.M. Yusuf, Director UMDEA, Center for Excellence in Basic Sciences and former Director Physics Group of BARC Mumbai. He is pioneer in the development of material characterization techniques and advanced magnetic materials for frontier technology. He is the first person in India to establish the neutron depolarization technique. He developed new quantum materials demonstrating spin entanglements near room temperature. He built a prototype magnetic nanoparticle loaded medical grade membrane device for use in artificial heart pump support. Besides, he developed high magnetocaloric materials for refrigeration technology and carried out engineering design and development of a prototype magnetocaloric test setup device. Under his stewardship and leadership, helium-3 neutron detectors, portable DT neutron generator for uranium exploration, industrial utilization of neutron beam for neutron shielding and imaging, neutron transportation mirrors, NAI, TI detectors, etc. were developed. I request President INAE to induct Professor S.M. Yusuf as a Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor S.M. Yusuf, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you.
And as we quite come very close to the final few nominations, may I now request Professor S.S. Murthy, former Professor IIT Delhi, to kindly come up and read the citations for section 9.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Muthukumar Palaniswamy, Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Tirupati. He has developed energy efficient and environmentally friendly novel porous radiant burners that operate on any gaseous or liquid fuels for cooking and industrial applications. These burners can provide real-time fuel savings of up to 60% with an 85% reduction in emissions and an impressive payback period of 3 to 6 months. He is also a pioneer in the area of solid-state hydrogen storage, purification and compressor systems, and has developed numerous industrial scale prototypes. He has also designed and developed an industrial scale thermal storage system that operates at temperatures up to 500 degrees centigrade. His research contributions have led to many technology transfers and startups. I request President INAE to induct Professor Muthukumar Palaniswamy as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Muthukumar Palaniswamy, a Fellow thereof. Congratulations.
I have great pleasure in introducing Mr. V. Vinod, Head of Experimental Thermal Hydraulic Division, Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research, Kalpakam. He contributed to the development of sodium-cooled fast breeder reactors and the design and development of critical component systems and processes. He was instrumental for the characterization of decay heat removal systems and steam generators for Indian fast breeder reactors. A team of engineers led by Mr. Vinod developed critical components for the reactor system and successfully indigenized many equipment which reduced the system and successfully reduced the import dependence for the construction and operation of fast breeder reactors. His contribution towards conceptualizing and establishing of large experimental facilities for design, validation and qualification of large components and systems were crucial for the second stage of Indian nuclear power program. I request President INAE to induct Mr. Vinod as a fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Mr. V. Vinod, a fellow thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Now I call upon Professor Maithili Sharan from IIT Delhi to confer the final two or read the citations of the final two nominees, and that is from section 10. Over to you, sir, to do the honors for the interdisciplinary and special engineering fields and leadership in academia, R&D and industry. Please come, sir.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor Mohan Shankar Shiv Prakasam, Professor Department of Electrical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. He contributed in developing and deploying affordable healthcare technologies in the country that has reached over 12 million people through over 10 commercial products. He successfully established cutting-edge interdisciplinary R&D centers in frontier areas of biomedical science and technology through an integrated platform of R&D, product engineering, technology commercialization, and startup incubation. IIT Madras Healthcare Technology Incubation Center he set up in 2011 is a highly collaborative medtech innovation ecosystem by bringing together experts from technical and medical institutions, industries, and government agencies for affordable healthcare technologies. He set up IIT Madras Sudhar Gopalakrishnan Brain Center and developed a neurotechnology platform to image and map whole human brains into cell resolution, petabyte scale digital volumes through a sophisticated throughout histology and computing pipeline. I request President INAE to induct Professor Mohan Shankar Shiv Prakasam as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Mohan Shankar Shiva Prakasam, a fellow thereof. Congratulations. Amazing work. Congratulations. Welcome.
Pleasure introducing Professor Uttama Lahari, Professor of Electrical Engineering and Coordinator of Center for Biomedical Engineering, IIT Gandhinagar. Her interdisciplinary research holds promise in bringing paradigm shift in healthcare system, even outside control settings. Two of her innovative engineering solutions that worth mentioning are Mind-Eye and Smart West. Mind-Eye tracks once gaze to screen community dwellers having mild cognitive impairment necessary to early intervention for delaying dementia onset. Smart wear uses instrumented soles to quantify gait and predict possibility of freezing of gait, debiting symptom of individuals with Parkinson's disease. These novel solutions have been recognized and awarded nationally and internationally. Most importantly, some of her products are on the verge of laboratory to market translation for greater societal impact. I request President INE to induct Professor Uttama Lahiri as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
In the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor Uttama Lahiri, a fellow thereof. Congratulations. Congratulations once again.
I have great pleasure in introducing Professor U.S.N. Murthy,
Professor Murthy,
Director, National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, NIPER, Guwahati. He carried out cutting-edge translation research in the areas of bioinformatics, pharmacoinformatics, and pharmacoengineering, leading to the development of medical devices and technology for vector control and disease modeling, with an emphasis on next-gen research engineer personalized and customized medicines. By integrating AI and ML and data mining tools, he developed models for predicting disease outbreaks and implementing necessary control measures in advance, the first of its kind in India and Asia. He also established the supercomputing facility Param Bio Embryo, which significantly boosted drug discovery program and developed referral standards that are now followed in national and international levels. I request President INE to induct Professor U.S.N. Murthy as a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering.
in the name and by the authority of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, I admit you, Professor U.S.N. Murthy, a fellow thereof. Congratulations and welcome to the Academy. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the conclusion of the last section, I just request a minute here, and I'll request President INAE sir to kindly wait here for a minute in honoring our gracious host, which is the HMA, that is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited Management Academy. Their leadership is right here. May I call upon Mr. Arup Kumar Malik sir, please. I also will request Dr. Siva Prasad, Mr. Patnaik, Mr. Murli Behra to kindly come on to the dais. These have been the pillars of support under the team of Mr. Malik, and we have had strong support from them. Please come, sir. I thank our senior fellows who are here, our former presidents, Dr. P.S. Goel, Dr. Sanak Mishra, we have with us Dr. Professor Indranil Manna. Thank you, sir, for always keeping us blessed and patronizing the academy. Thank you.